Hello friends, this is Coldrun. Welcome back to a blind playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV, where right now we are... It's been a little while since I've had one of these, and I'm coming back because I finished up my other Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy Dimensions that I was playing, and it's the Halloween event, the All Saints Eve, All Saints Wake, something like that. And this feels like as good a thing to start with as any before I dive into 4.5 and the Alliance raids and all the other stuff that'll be coming up in the coming weeks and the like. So we'll start with the Adventurers Guild. Here we are. The Fright Stuff. Oh, the clown guy's back. Right. The demon group. And Dunkin' Donuts has achieved delightfully frightful. Nice job, Dunkin' Donuts. What is this? All Saints Charm. The Adventurers Guild investigator is eyeing the festive displays with a healthy dose of suspicion. This quest is available for... Okay, yeah. Oh my stars, what could it be? The self-same adventurer who helped us keep wickedness at bay and transformed All Saints Wake from a night of screams into a day of revelry? Thank the 12 for bringing you to us, for the fiends of the realm knock at our door once again, and we need a dauntless soul to help us ensure they don't tear it off its hinges. The host of this year's Parade of Horrors is a woman with a pumpkin for a head. Isn't she like the actual spirit of Halloween in this game? I do not remember the deep lore of All Saints Wake. I'll recognize it when I see it, but only bits and pieces. I shudder to consider whether this is some elaborate costume or... No, perhaps it's best not to know. Her strange appearance makes my skin crawl, rude, to say nothing of her underlings. Why, one might think the Continental Circus was come again, hiding their monstrous intentions behind the guise of celebration. Don't they do that every year? We can be grateful that none have yet fallen under their spell, but I fear it is only a matter of time. We must act quickly to unearth their schemes. I would begin a thorough investigation at once, but I'm afraid my surveillance duties here prevent me from moving freely. That, my friend, is why I need you. Approach this pumpkin-headed witch under the... Again, rude. Under the flag of friendship, and offer your services to her ghastly celebration. If you catch even a whiff of foul deeds, I want you to put a stop to them before any innocents come to harm. I knew I could count on you. Now then, you can find our quarry just across the way at Mikedo's amphitheater, where she is doubtless attempting to draw any and all passers-by into her ungodly procession. Humor her for now, but take care not to fall victim to her honeyed words. I am a sucker for honeyed words, so I'm not sure how likely we are to succeed here. Pumpkin-headed apparition. That is a cool hat or head. Classic. It is you! I knew your arrival was inevitable. For any who once indulge in the revelry of All Saints Wake cannot resist a chance to relive their experience. Oh, such eagerness. We are ever in need of willing hands to help with the festivities, preferably with bodies still attached. Of course, I understand you have been tasked with bringing to light any iniquity on my part, but you know from experience that I am perfectly harmless, so you are free to conduct your little investigation if it pleases you. Yeah, we've had plenty of interactions. We're besties at this point, even if I don't remember you. Together, I believe we can make this All Saints Wake into one that will be remembered for moons to come. Yet before we begin, allow me to illuminate the history of this event and our intentions here. Thank you. I know the Gruffs were actually evil, were actually bad, or at least most of them were, but I think this group is different. On this most unhallowed of nights, the saints revel in their palatial heavens, and as their judgmental eyes become leaden from drink... Oh, is that the idea? That it's like this because the saints are... Because, like, all the saints are, like, celebrating, like, basically the cat's away, so now the mice can play? Neat. As their judgmental eyes become leaden from drink, the impure are free to feast and frolic without fear of punishment. In ages past, the common folk would rue the coming of this night and cower in their homes, fearful of the TP. That is until the adventurers took it upon themselves to rid the streets of evil, thus turning the event into a celebration of your collective bravery. A joyous happening, to be sure, but What of the goblin, the ghost, the gremlin? Unfortunately, there are many monstrous spirits who yet consider this a night to spread fear like a plague. And so it struck me. What if All Saints' Wake could be an occasion for celebration amongst mortal and monster alike? I believe there is room for light in even the darkest of hearts, and dark in even the lightest of hearts. Which brings me to the question of your involvement. I would have you aid a minion of mine named Papa Gruff. That's right, you're like the big boss and Papa Gruff is your... Right, okay. In facilitating an All Saints Wake that will allow yours and mine to join hands in mutual merriment. Really? Because Papa Gruff was universally an antagonist, kind of a fun one, but like a legitimate antagonist who, if he had his way and if nothing stopped him, he would like cause actual pain and destruction. Perhaps you know Papa Gruff. He was once a void sent so depraved that his kin only spoke of him in hushed whispers. But I have since shackled, or rather, politely reasoned with him, to commit devilry no more. Is it devilry or deviltry? Knowing of his formidable magical prowess, I have set him to work under these guiding words. Frightened enough to tickle, but not scar. Will he know the difference? I guess that's what I'm there for. Fear need not be an unpleasant experience, and Papa Gruff is doing his utmost to strike that delicate balance between felicity and fright. Not with much success, as I understand. I would love to proffer him advice myself, but I believe one such as you would know better what appeals to the mortals of this city. Might you give our beleaguered Papa Gruff a few words of advice? This is interesting, and I agree with her, of course. I mean, the idea that fear can be fun. Like, I like watching Attack on Titan. I'm currently early in season 2, but I don't want to be under threat of being consumed alive by giants. He should be putting on a performance near the Leatherworkers Guild at present, assuming he has yet to be chased from Gridania's borders. Please speak with him and give him my encouragement. He's looking his usual self. You're that meddlesome adventurer. SMH. Rather icy tidings of my humble performance have reached even your ears, good madam. Please honor me with your presence as my guest of honor. Without further ado, I shall summon a foul, fell beast before your very eyes. I only hope you've brought a change of small clothes. A monster? It'll take more than a magician's cantrip to scare me. I mean, I'm rooting for Papa Gruff here. I want it to scare the shit out of you. Look here, my dear thrill seekers. Here lies an ordinary pumpkin. Or is it? Take care not to blink, for any moment of distraction may well be your last. Alright, we're buckling up, but I'm not optimistic. Never mind, this is the best possible outcome. A pumpkin pup. This is the... Okay, Papa Gruff can stay. Oh, the terror, those bloodthirsty eyes, those razor-sharp fangs. Flee if you dare, but this hellhound will chase you to the ends of the earth to have its ounce of flesh. And I would know, considering the scars of his wrath upon my backside. I mean, I've seen Monty Python. I'm not going to underestimate it, but, you know. Imagine each and every pumpkin adorning this fair city transformed into such a thing. Why, dread would prey upon Gridania to the last ilm if I made it so. A veritable banquet of chaos. This would be the greatest Halloween ever. As long as they all had good homes afterwards. Ha ha ha! Bloody brilliant! You drew us in with all that talk of monsters, only to dash our expectations with an adorable pup. I admit some confusion at first, but now I see you are a clown among clowns. And I think he's being serious. Apologies if there was a whole past storyline that centered on his fear of dogs, but... Not a single blood-curdling scream, but a smile is not a complete failure, I suppose? It's not really. I mean, I think it's okay to have cute stuff on Halloween as well as this legit spooky stuff. I mean, have you seen, like, the costumes that, like, little kids go to trick-or-treating in? My pumpkin-headed master asked you to help me. Well, allow me to peel back the curtain, as they say. Considering our previous acquaintance, this hardly bears repeating, but my true form is that of a void scent. Wasn't there, like, a whole family? There was, like, Mama Gruff and, like, Baby Gruff. And, like, Angsty Teen Gruff. I think I liked Angsty Teen Gruff, but I might be misremembering. Aye, not even a grimace. Well, I suppose it would be inconvenient if you ran away screaming after every sideways glance in my direction. Now for the matter of this furry abomination. Don't you dare call... Well, I don't know. Frightened enough to tickle but not scar is the agreement that binds me to my master. I don't need to be told twice that summoning any of my kind would be in gross violation of that covenant. So remembering that deceptively winsome countenance of this vicious hellhound, I thought this has got to be... It's definitely a reference to a past All Saints Wake. I just don't remember the reference. I thought it would strike the perfect balance between horrifying and heartwarming. That is until a child at an earlier show burst into tears at the pup's appearance. Oh no! Child? That person was like in their 20s. Now I've seen a man react with a hearty laugh to the exact same dog with nary a trace of fear in his voice. The difference is vexing. Tell me, is a puppy something to be feared or cuddled? Feared by children, cuddled by adults, but sometimes the opposite. Depends what frightens one and make another smile. Yeah, it depends. It could be both, because I definitely know people who are legit afraid of dogs. No matter the size or temperament. Do you jest? Do you mean to say your kind's definition of terror differs from person to person? I admit this does explain the sheer contrast in reactions I've observed so far, and it does place me between a rock and a hellish soul-rending place. If my task was simply a matter of bringing people to tearful tears, the ground beneath you would already be soaked through. How in the hell's good name does one frighten to tickle? I mean, it's a great question. It's really tough to do. Like, even just frightening alone is a tough needle to thread, but a certain degree of frightening is even tougher. Ah, but you, with your delicate sensibilities, can teach me to mix dread and delight into a charmingly chilling concoction. Let us begin at once. Sure. I got you, Papa. Big Daddy Gruff. The puppy in the background. First, we need to find people to scare, but not scar. Your kind seems to gravitate towards the pumpkins we've placed throughout the city, which creates the perfect opportunity for mild mischief. One of our displays should be just over the hill, and another near the Lancers Guild. Your job is to tell me what to transform the pumpkins into once we find our suitable test subjects. Let's see how well you tickle. I like the player whose name is Bree Booty. Papa Gruff's now accompanying you. Okay. So I see an off-duty sergeant. Are there clues that will tell me what will frighten but not tickle? Like, do you have a fear of Lalafels? What gets your goat? An All Saints Wake performance. Very well, but I face slavering monsters almost daily, so it will take something quite fantastic to make me flinch. Oh, I could make him flinch so hard his heart would burst in his chest, but that's neither here nor there. What type of ghoul would be suitable? What are the options? Ghastliest you can muster. Middle of the road, small uncanny thing. I think ghastliest you can muster. He's saying he's a trained, hardened veteran, that he's not going to be scared by anything small. Well, if you say so, allow me to oblige. Is it going to be like a visage of his family slaughtered in front of him? Or is it going to be just like a big monster? Egads! That's pretty good. That gave me quite a fright. I only hope I never face such a monstrosity on one of my patrols, else my final act might be to soil my breeches. Well played. Well played. So there we go. We got it. Bam. And then we have Cowering Boy, where we're gonna, I assume, yeah, I mean, Cowering Boy, we're gonna cool this down. These decorations are so scary. You're not here to trick me, are you? This one is ripe for the picking. Forget I said anything. So, what type of ghoul do you suggest? We gotta go small here. Yeah, we gotta go spoopy. Hellhound ate my homework. Most appalling abomination you can conceive of. I'm gonna try to do... I don't want to kill the kid. But I am curious to see what happens if... I don't care if I fail. I want to see what happens if we go absolutely overboard and traumatize the kid for decades. The most appalling abomination you can conceive of, and don't skimp on the ooze. You would do that to a trembling child who is the real monster here. It's me. It's me. Oh, you're not going to let me. Okay. All right, we'll go with spoopy. Okay. Spooky. Yeah. It called me out. If you really think so. Is it going to be like a kitty cat with like bat ears? Or actually like bat wings even, like just a straight up gaily cat. Oh, little ghosty. Huh? Pretty huggable, right? Yeah. You know, when you look at it, it's kind of cute. The puff of smoke was a little scary, though. I'm thinking back to like the thing that really scared the version of things that scared the crap out of me as a kid. Like the version of the max level was when I was really young and the first Child's Play was out. Seeing that on television, the commercials for it on television. That's right, there were movie trailer. Yeah, God, do movies have commercials anymore? Probably not. Like on TV, probably not. But seeing the commercials for Child's Play scared the hell out of me. And if I had a Raggedy Andy, no, I had a My Buddy doll at the time, and so that added to it, like legit nightmares. But there were cute stuff too. Like I would love, it was like a goofy Halloween. There was stuff like that too. Papa Gruff, I'm beginning to understand if a fright doesn't kill your kind, it can actually be somewhat pleasant. It really can. I love this season. I believe I'm ready to take the proverbial stab at it. Come. There should be more pumpkins around Apkalu Falls. I think the thing I've seen probably closest in the last year or two that was the legitimately scared me at times was Haunting of Hill House. That's in my opinion, one of the really great horror series that are out there, pieces of horror media. Other favorites I remember in college, I couldn't sleep from reading. If I have to give one recommendation from today, it is the short story 1408. The Stephen King short story 1408 was the scariest short story I think I remember reading. It was a version of a haunted house story, but it was a haunted hotel room. And it treated the haunting like a terrible drug trip. And it was, I can't recommend this short story strongly enough. 1408. They made a movie out of it, which was pretty good too, but the short story, go for it if you can. Uncowed Girl. Don't tell me you're supposed to send a chill down my spine. Clowns are for babies. No it in this universe. For babies, are they? I'll make this lass wish she were back in her mother's womb. Alright. You there, little girl, look well upon this pumpkin. Are you going to thread the needle? Let's see. Let's go PG-13. Ah, a monster! Really? I thought that was going to be spookier than would work on you. What impressive magic. My heart won't stop pounding. Dad and Ma will have the fright of their life when I tell them I saw a real honest-to-God's monster. I can't wait to tell them. I'll think twice before I insult the clown again. Thank you for the... Okay. Legitimately just got like a kid's flashback to the stuff that was really the formative horror of my childhood, and I loved it so much. A lot of it was bad, but a lot of the stuff that was good was really good. It was Are You Afraid of the Dark, the TV show. Specifically, my favorite of the show, my favorite show episode of the series, which I still remember, was The Tale of Laughing in the Dark, which centered around the horror of insulting a clown. No joke, Zeebo the clown. Oh God. One of my, it's legitimately good, even for a kid's thing. I think it ages really well. About specifically the way it ended, it was, I'm gonna give, you could feel free to skip ahead, I'll put a timestamp, but the premise of it, God, I will, because this will be, I don't think anyone cares about spoilers for an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode, but the whole premise of this episode, which was unique, for me at the time anyway, and pretty unique anyway, was the premise of it was this, you know, haunted, more or less haunted carnival thing with the ghost of a, you know, killer or something. I don't remember. It is some kind of bad dude in this animatronic clown now. And you were told to never, the kids were told to never make fun of the clown. No, the Zeebo is the name. Never make fun of Zeebo, never insult it. If you want, you can show respect by giving it like a cigar, like the person who died loved cigars. But one kid came and stole his nose, like as a dare. He came into the fun house, he stole Zeebo's animatronic, the Zeebo doll animatronic's nose, and ran home. And was like, oh, I'm the bravest kid ever. And Zeebo stalks the kid. He stalks the kid at night. He does a whole, you know, cuts off his phone lines, cigar smoke under the door, real terrifying stuff. And in the end, the kid returns to the fun house, returns the nose, puts the nose back on the animatronic, and even gives him a box of cigars. And it stuck with me. He survived, but he survived by placating the monster. He appeased it. It was like it became this dark god. It wasn't, because I was used to seeing kids overcome monsters by defeating them or being brave enough to, you know, shout the magic words at them. But this was one where, again, it just sticks with me, where you have to acknowledge, where you had to acknowledge his weakness, his powerlessness and smallness in the scheme of things and in the world, and just had to be humbled and respect this horrifying monster thing. And that was it. Anyway. Yeah, think twice before you insult a clown, little girl, or else you'll get an Are You Afraid of the Dark lecture from a random Let's Play guy. Did she say thank you? I scared her near out of her shoes and she thanks me? Can't say I've experienced that before. I dare say I even enjoyed it. Yes, now is the time to capitalize upon this newfound tickling skill of mine. Be careful, friend. Only do it with consenting people of adults. Let us visit the display near the Whistling Miller next. I wonder if this is just going to be him having like experiencing development, or if he's going to revert and find like a child here and he's like, yes, have a barrage of arachnids on your face. Startled botanist. Good day to you, young lady. Might you join me in celebrating the joyous occasion that is All Saints' Wake? Ah. Celebrate? That's the last thing on my mind. Please go and bother someone else with that ghoulish makeup. Oh my, aren't you in a fright? And not the good kind either. What happened, lass? Papa Gruff is here to help. Is he legitimately going to try to help? You'll really help? Well, I could certainly do worse than a clown. There you go. You don't insult clowns. Never. I've come from the Great Lone Growery, though fled from is probably more appropriate. I was tilling the fields like always when I heard a frightful voice from behind me. I turned to meet it and came face to face with the foulest monster I've ever seen. Was it a puppy? When I regained my senses, I was here, my throat hoarse from screaming. No power in the world can persuade me to return, not while that horror wanders unchecked. A monster? But we haven't visited the growery yet. What could it have been, do you think? Maybe one of the other just void sent doing random stuff? Maybe we've a real demon on our hands. A real demon, you say? You may very well be right. Those illusions I summoned are no more capable of free movement than the pumpkins from which they sprang. Yes, no doubt there are void scent running amok. Here I am, tying myself into knots trying to learn the subtleties of spookery, while some uncouth brute goes rampaging through the Twelves Wood with nary a thought towards artistry. If we forgive such behavior, our efforts to find glee and terror will have been for naught. Straight back for spoopy. Not for spoopy, but for legit scare, for fun scary. Yeah, someone's there trying to do, like, some void scent is out there trying to make people go through those full contact, haunted houses. Ugh. Tremble in fear no longer lasts. We shall investigate the matter. Truly, you're the first people to believe my claims are more than seasonal mischief. Oh, I knew Father was wrong when he said all clowns were villains. Thank you. Your father's gonna get a visit from Papa Gruff in the middle of the night if he's not careful. Again, those words ring strangely in my ears. However, it is not an entirely unpleasant sensation. Feels great to scare people. It really does. If it's a good kind of scary, I think it feels bad to scare people in a way that they legitimately that upsets them. Not really a hot take, but still. I know this wasn't why you were sent to assist me, but there's no telling how many of my kind we may find. A single void clown can only achieve so much. So would you lend me your aid in case the situation gets undesirably bloody? Hell yeah. I'm in Dark Knight mode because I forgot to change to Red Mage. Thank you. Look at me expressing gratitude, and to one of your kind no less. Well, no matter. Let us depart to the growery and settle this. Oh, this poor kid. Poor, not even a kid. Poor, just straight up adult. Nothing super jumping out here. Our roguish quarry is close, doubtless lying in wait somewhere to catch us unawares. Once they show themselves, don't indulge them with anything but a face of stony indifference. Don't feed the trolls, basically. Especially if they're literal trolls. It's tough to do, though. If they're good at it, it's tough to not let out a yelp. Bah! Boo! Potted void scent. Get wrecked, potted void scent. Yeah, come on. At least it seems like it's doing this in fun. Ah, as I thought, fellow void scent. And what, pray tell, are you doing here? A brother of the void, and you know why I'm here, for the night of devilry. Once we were free to carouse, creep and caper, guided by the great pumpkin-headed archfiend. For too long we have been denied our demonic rights, and it is I who shall reinstate our grandest event. Yes, the new age of the Great Gorge. That's the name, the Great Gorge. Shall give way to the era of the Great Pot. Even now, my allies... The Great Pot. Okay, you good luck with that, friend. Even now, my allies lie in wait throughout the city, ready to usher in the night of devilry. Join us, brother. We shall rise. I mean, good luck. But not really good luck. You're trying to tread on the actual scary side, not the fun scary side. No. It's not unexpected, but I'm loving this. I'm loving that we get this. We get Papa Gruff character growth. But why? Even if I wanted to, my covenant prevents me from engaging in the wanton vileness you propose. Regardless, I have no desire to join you for some cheap jaunt through the city, with only a few startled mortals to show for it. Don't be a jump scarer. Such indelicate devilry would only result in our swift and total annihilation. Ha! Spoken like a true coward. Tell me you're frightened of some sharpened sticks and clumsy clubs. Oh, but I am frightened, as you too would be had you tasted the full brunt of my master's fury. Perhaps you may yet, if you continue to insist upon this foolish course. Yeah, you'll get smashed by the pumpkin. I have learned how to blend in with the people here and extract terror in such a way that does not tempt retaliation. It's like boxing, the art of hitting without getting hit. Your plan would bring but a single night of debauchery. Learn how to cohabit, however, and our collective revelry can last forevermore. Yeah, he's the vampire that's consisting on donated blood. Traitor! Then my minions and I will devour you and your puny popoto of a friend. Don't insult clowns or lalas. Is this pumpkin time? Oh yeah, you're gonna get great gourded. That head, the great gourd. Naughty children ill deserve to join the festivities. They should be happy as decorations to serve as an example for any who would follow in their footsteps. Yeah, you're gonna get pumpkined here. I'm not even a happy pumpkin. What is terrifying fate? Its brain is set on fire, basically. My, how pleasant it is to see you. Dare I ask why you grace us with your presence? I caught wind of a voice and disturbance and came here to investigate. When I heard your voices, I knew something was afoot. I must say, I am quite pleased that you see the merit in my approach to All Saints' Wake. And he legitimately does. This isn't just out of fear. He has sincere belief in this. He buys into it. Yet, something must be done about the other beasts that have crept into the city. Let us give them the same treatment and continue enjoying this unhallowed season on our own terms. Get wrecked. Get absolutely wrecked. The wretch reminded me of myself long ago, but for a twist of fate, I might even now be adorning the streets of Gridania by its side. Yeah, that is rough, buddy. With your help, rounding up our reckless kin should prove to be a simple matter. Let us make this All Saints' Wake an occasion to remember for those who dwell in the light and shadow alike. If you sight any errant ghouls, perform the spell I demonstrated earlier. In so doing, we shall convince the residents of Gridania that the source of their supposed nightmares was naught but a cluster of mundane pumpkins. This wand possesses the transformative... This is the request reward, okay. Transformative power you require. Simply swing it about in a grandiose manner and point it at your target. Once the charms have been cast, I shall collect the pumpkins. I understand they are quite delicious when baked in a pie. I mean, this one, I hope it doesn't hurt them because, like, this one was being a little bit creepy and spooky, but it doesn't deserve a torturous death. All Saints Charm. Oh, we get a little bobbity boopity here going. Perfect. That's a fun little emote. So there looks to be a follow-up quest, a charmed life. Papa Gruff is eager to rid Gridania of his wicked brethren. Just when I was getting the hang of the better... I'm gonna ease up on the voice just because my throat's hurting. Just when I was getting the hang of being the life of the party instead of the death of it. Let's wrap this up quickly, lest this year's All Saints' Wake be remembered as a disaster. I sense something sinister lurking deeper in these fields, as well as a trail heading to the east, perhaps towards the market or the Lancers Guild. Splitting up will be the easiest way to end this quickly. I'll escort the botanist from earlier back here and deal with whatever still haunts the Growery. I shall use this opportunity to convince her that what she witnessed before was nothing but an overzealous pumpkin. That should put her heart at ease. I don't know. I feel like that would not put her heart at ease. That'll just make her question herself. It's like the most caring type of gaslighting you could do. I will leave the rest of Gridania to you, once the Void Scent have been verily vegetated. Nice phrase. Meet me at Miketo's amphitheater so we can deliver my master news of our success. If I don't look, it'll go away. Yeah, so this is... So the Void Center here, and we're going to wreck them. Get flicked on. Yep, now you're a pumpkin. Huh? What was that? It was a pumpkin the whole time? I can't believe I fell for that. But now that I know it was just a trick, I'd like to see it again. That's not happening, little kid. Like, I don't mind telling kids that what they saw was like a trick if they really can believe it. I don't know that I would do the same thing, because I think the botanist was like a full-on adult, right? Another transformation here. What? It was just a pumpkin. I knew the wood whalers wouldn't let such wicked things into the city. Yeah, like, I get it though. I get it. I'm not violently against or vehemently against this outcome. I've never seen such a feat of illusion before. If the rest of All Saints' Wake is as entertaining, I'd best go and find the main event. And so this time, doing it to someone threatening a full-on guard, not just a child or a regular civilian adult. Which seems even less reason to tell him it's just a spooky ghost, or just an illusion. A pumpkin? Wait, this is part of the All Saints' Wake festivities, isn't it? Like, it feels like we're actively harming the city's safety by doing this. It's just a prank bro to the guard. I must say, that made my heart skip a beat. If this is what adorns the streets, then I cannot wait to see what the main stage has in store. Yeah, I don't agree with them, but I respect what they're doing. I get their perspective. There you are. I took care of the void sense still haunting the Great Loam Growery. Did your hunt go as smoothly? It did. It told everyone that they couldn't trust their senses, and everything they thought scared them was a lie. Good, good. Now we can safely say that the only frights in store for the citizens of Gridania are of the decidedly entertaining variety. I took the liberty of gathering the pumpkins you created. Their punishment will not be eternal. Good, thank you. But they can stand to remain in their current form for the duration of the festivities. It's the least they can do in repentance. I think that's a fair punishment as long as they don't feel pain from it. And I don't think they do. I was joking about the whole, now their brain's on fire. Like, I think they don't. I think they are observing, but they can't. I think they can't feel anything, but they're just watching. Startled botanist. Oh, there you are, my fearless clown. Thank you for reassuring me. I had worried I might have to retire from my position at the Great Loam Growery and seek less haunted climbs. Fufucha. As a master of the Botanist Guild, allow me to extend my personal thanks for helping my gifted pupil avoid such a decision. It would have been a grievous loss for us all. Papa Gruff, friend to children, small animals, and botanists. Oh, it was no trouble at all. In fact, I should thank you for being such an exemplary audience. A true entertainer brings his all to every stage, be it a grand amphitheater or a cozy vegetable patch. I only hope you were half as thrilled as I was. That scary, whatever it was, looked so real. Excuse me, sneeze. I could never have guessed it was just a garden variety pumpkin. Truly, I feel privileged to have seen a master of illusion at his craft. And now if I see a Voidsent in the actual wild, I'll treat it as just a harmless illusion and won't think twice. Bufucha, as do I. Would that every day were so filled with surprises. As a token of our thanks, we've made some pumpkin cookies from our most recent crop. Enjoy them in good health. See, you are enjoying the delicious benefits of being a good guy, Papa Gruff. I do believe I can get used to this being thanked thing. Well, since you've gone through the trouble, I'd best eat them before they've cooled. Really? I guess cookies are probably best when they're hot. When they're warm. Warm. To my good health. This is delicious! That feeling when you bite a delicious cookie. I know it. I need to learn to cook better. I need to learn to bake. I need to learn to cook. All the things. But that was just an illusion. The fiery blast was just an illusion. This flavor, I've never tasted anything like it. The cookie's ether is tinged with something I can't quite pin down. It's bold, but not overpowering. Much like the frights that you give to people tonight. Is this the taste of gratitude? Oh, how much of my life have I truly wasted only supping on terror, when all along a whole world of flavors was left neglected. Yeah, this is like Pennywise could learn from him. Don't just eat children after you've frightened them, eat them after you've tickled them, after you've given them a taste of melancholy and nostalgia. Like, you have a whole palette of children to eat. And you're just focusing on one thing. I'm not entirely sure what you mean, but I shall consider your words a compliment nonetheless. These cookies are but a small token of my appreciation. I only wish I could have given you more. You mean I could potentially receive more gifts? If performing my act will get me more baked delights, I'd better get to work straight away. Is this the origin of trick-or-treating here? You do some tricks for treats, yeah. Why, this is shaping up to be quite the All Saints' Wake indeed. I could not have imagined a better day of celebration for all. Yeah, this is like her perfect outcome. This went great. Our success here was in no small part thanks to you. As I believe that Papa Gruff now has matters well in hand, I shall return to my manor. Pray visit if you are so inclined. Yes, but before I forget, do apprise that troublesome investigator of what has transpired here. Maybe he will finally cast his prying eyes elsewhere. Not likely. I wonder if next year is going to continue this. If it's going to be like the family troubles as Papa Gruff brings his new positive attitude to an undesiring family, homestead, home front. Adventurers Guild Investigator. What a fantastic yarn! Monsters plotting against monsters, all to make us happy? I admit I find your story hard to swallow, but I also see no reason why a fellow guild member would lie. Very well, I shall take your tale at face value and consider these to be glad tidings indeed. However, I can't help but wonder if this was all an elaborate ruse. They knew we were watching them, and that may have compelled them to put on a show of charity. After all, a monster cannot change its skin overnight. I shall continue to keep a close eye on their activities from afar. I thank you for everything you've done and hope against hope that the evil has been laid to rest. You keep an eye out. You've actually done some... You know what? There's no harm in it. Access to Sneaky Hollow. I'm good on that, I think. That's just a repeat event, I think, right? Probably. Can I get anything? Oh, it's just a guild for this. Sure. Wall-mounted vampire bats. Spookify a plain wall with this cloud of tiny bloodthirsty beasts. Have you seen bats eating bananas? Bats are not bloodthirsty. I guess some bats are bloodthirsty, but even then it's like mosquitoes and stuff, right? Do bats ever attack people when they're not like rabid, when they're like actually attack them, like to feast on their flesh? They don't, right? None of them do. There. Now, as I go to sleep, as I lay me down to sleep, I can see both like a hatching tide baby's mobile and bats. Perfect for any Lalafell. That's going to be it for me for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I'll see you next time as I continue on to start probably the Alliance raid. I think I'm going to do the Alliance raid next. The conclusion to it. Bye-bye.